I'm your host Nema, and today we are diving into this pressing issue that affects communities not only locally, not only regionally, but also globally. Femicide and GBV are not just statistics, they are stories of real people, of daughters, sisters, mothers, and friends. It's a crisis that calls for urgent action, awareness, and accountability. Joining us today are Grace Olwande and MC Pipita. Together, we'll explore the root causes, systemic failures, and the steps we can take to end the cycle of violence. Thank you for being here and for caring.
My name is Anthony Boke, MC Pipita, stage name. Many people call me Pipi.
Thank you for being here, Pipi.
Yeah, my name is Grace Olwande. That is my name. I've never changed it. So, I'm working with Action for Children Development Center. Yes, I'm a project manager and also children rights advocate. That's my space. Thank you.
Recent femicide cases have sparked outrage across the country. What do you believe are the root causes of these crimes, and how do you think society can address them? You can take this, Pipita.
You're asking on the root causes of gender violence, yeah? I think, first of all, I'd say our security apparatus have not been fast in acting and decisive towards the available gender-based violence cases. So that has been one of the reasons why you find that we do not have a set line of people getting arrested. Like, look at this. In the past 3 months, we have had over 100 women losing their lives through gender-based violence and what we now call femicide. But when you look at the arrests made, the way these people are prosecuted, you realize there is no type of fear instilled in these people that are perpetrating gender-based violence. Also, there has been a very great discord in the family fabric, yeah? Because now you find that in these families that we are in, we do not have a communication line. The society through social media has increased expectations of young men and women. We have people who are out here telling our ladies that if a man doesn't have money, I was actually having this conversation in the car on my way here, that if a man does not have money, then he cannot have you, all right? And if a woman does not submit to you when you have money, then that there's a touchdown, you see. So it starts with that connection, that our communication of our expectations in our relationships and our meetings are not as direct, you know. And we have now brought it down. Look at the way people are. I'll pick a case of a lady that was meeting a stranger, you know. So this stranger is someone who is telling you, I'm not going to kill you. Then goes ahead and kills you. You see, some of these things are because of the general sense of lack of self-awareness. Because now you see, when social media came in, people now see your age mates, yeah, driving a German machine. You do not have it, yeah. So there's that societal pressure that comes from social media, and then there is also these expectations that come from even from our families. We are getting into the festive season to find that the level of abuse now goes high. You know, in places like in the United States, they say during Thanksgiving, that's the highest time of gender-based violence, because now families now are together. And right now we're going into the festive seasons, which means people are going to go out and celebrate life. The people who are going to go for holidays, the people who are going to go with their families. So you see, the basics of gender-based violence starts from the family structure. And you know, most of the time people talk about the physical side of gender-based violence. There's also emotional violence, you know, and that is one that, since it's intangible, many people do not get to say it or quantify it, because now you can imagine, somebody, you come from work, you're tired, and then your partner tells you all you do is nothing. You see, from work, your boss has already told you you're nothing. You see, so these basic things are happening, and I feel like there's been a general increase in general intolerance, and the gender discourse needs now to stop being about individual genders and become about both genders, because most of the times you look at the girl child a lot, and the boy child is forgotten, and you see the girl child does not actively physically abuse the boy child, but she mentally abuses him. That is something that we don't talk about. Our men out here get drunk because of these things. You see, the words that you say unto a man sticks more than even you beating them. And the society does not have a recognition for emotional violence. As a mental health advocate, I believe that one of the things that people need to actually focus on is talking about the impact of emotional violence, because that is how it starts. Kids see their parents disjointed. We have a lot of breakups and divorces these days. So kids live bouncing between parents, and they grow without that sense of attachment, recognition. If you grow like with your mom, you find it hard to associate with men. You see, because most of the things that you're getting to learn from your mom, and if you're, and that's why people are talking about single mom, single dad. It's not about the single parent in it. It's because there is things that my mom can tell me that my dad can't tell me, and that's why you need a two household family. You see,
During COVID,
Yeah.
when people were forced to stay together, the numbers spiked up of GBV. So, what do you feel? What do you feel is causing this intolerance when we are brought together? Does it mean we cannot stay together? We're designed to coexist.
It's not necessarily that. It's not necessarily that we are not. We're intolerant to live with each other. I want to just take you back to our days in our festive days, like 20 years ago. I come from the far flung areas, and one of the beautiful things about us was the fact that over the holidays, about 15th, that 1 week to New Year, the whole house will be there. My relatives, aunties, cousins, I will, bond. Probably on Christmas, have some meat, eat and talk. Yeah, but now with the high economic costs, now people are moving abroad. The family now is not together anymore. So it becomes hard to have that coexistence that we are used to have there. Now, gender intolerance comes in like this. You see, when it's very interesting that you brought up the COVID-19 situation, because that was the time that we noticed that families can really break. First of all, the question of finances was brought up. People lost jobs. People had to step down their lives. You see, if you were living in a 50,000 apartment, now you have to go to a 30,000 apartment. Some people had to go back home. And now, here's the thing. As I say, you wake up in the morning, 6 a.m., your man has gone, you have left. And it's Nairobi or whatever, you will get back at home the earliest, 6, 7, 8 p.m. Very tired. Take dinner, go to bed. And the cycle continues. Over the weekend, your man will go out to watch ball with the boys. You'll probably go to the salon or the spa, or spend the whole day doing laundry and cleaning up the house. And you'll realize there has been space. Yeah? There was space. But now, you are in an enclosed space. First things first, our relationship these days, people don't learn people. We start from the end and then come back. So we start from the bed and come now learning each other. Oh, this one is, that I didn't see that coming. I see. So you start pointing the red flags now from inside the relationship. And that is why you see many relationships implode after the second year. You can tolerate it for the first year because the heat of love you could do, but by the time you get to the second year, there's nothing left. So the relationships now, we find that on this social media, you have a lot of people talking. You have the manosphere, we have the feminines there. So kila mtu anakuja na notion yake. For me, as an empowered lady, I believe I should not do any act of service for this man. And this man should do something for me. Yes? And as a man, I'm like, because I'm providing, I need also to see something from her. Now, here's the problem. Expectations hit different. So when you get empowered, you suddenly realize you actually don't need this man. You see, somebody actually once told me that, right? Apart from you providing, then I don't need you. But then again, you're working. So in as much as I would want to provide for you, you already have your money in your pocket. So the money I'm putting in your pocket is not as much as you would expect. Now when we are sitting together in the family, COVID now made people know their people. You see, I sit down here and I have to wake up in the morning and make you breakfast. I have to sit down and eat with you. There are families who never ate together. Now they have to eat together. You have been told no going out to meet the boys. You see, first of all, you have never had an active conversation with your partner. Apart from Moshene, there is nothing else you share. So it's not like you're going to watch movies together. She likes movies, I like music. That's the first clash. Because me, I'll be busy on my movies while she's listening to her music. There's discord. Then, the second thing is, you find that your belief systems now come into focus. Especially when now you're together. You now start learning. There's those what we call micro behaviors. When you start living with someone, now you see some micro behaviors that you didn't see because, for example, you wouldn't know I snore at night unless you sleep with me, right? So probably you are never slept at my place, so you've never had me snore. And now you're living with me, and I snore like a generator. So everybody's like, oh, and like, yeah, I hate that. So you see, resentment does not just come out of a day. Like, oh, today I resent this. No. Resentment is a gradual process. So I will hate this behavior about you. We have an argument. We don't have a conclusive end to it. Then I go and do something else. You do something else, and then now you end up in a relationship where every time is who did what? You did that. I did that. You did that. And that is actually how gender-based violence starts. You don't wake up one day and beat up your wife. You wake up one day, you start exchanging words. First day, second day, third day, somebody reaches. And that is why they tell people, when you are in a gender-based violence kind of situation, when you notice that your partner is abusive, the best time to leave is immediately. Because it's gradual. You don't end up dead that you went today and you died today. You see the signs. He beats you up. He tells you nitakuua. You get that if you leave me, I will kill you. You see, that is a very active threat. And you see, somebody who has already raised his hand on you will do it again. And if you realize, and I tell these people, like, if you realize you have a very abusive partner, walk away from them. Because sometimes you could not be violent, but violence can be induced. So you could not be the one who's looking to fight. But now this person tells you, akwambe kitu, akufanye kitu, then they maybe slap you. And in retaliation, sometimes most of these things, people do them out of retaliation. But the society will just look at one angle. All right? They'll say, mwanaume alipigwa, ama mwanamke alipigwa. But they don't look at what led to this. How can we make it better for our society? We do not even have lifestyle conversations these days. Most of the times when we have social conversations is about mimi mwanaume asiponinunulia this. Listen to what our radio stations are putting out. You realize that they are putting a lot of materialism, which is putting a lot of pressure on the young man, pressure on the young lady, so that I want to be on TikTok with the best car. I want to be seen with this lady, with this one, and this one. And then at the end of it all, the person who ends up suffering is the person at the home, and that is both of you. But so most of our relationships nowadays look outside a lot. We want to be like the next relationship. We want to be like our celebrity relationship. We want to be like so and so. But at the end of it all, when you look at it, you cannot be someone else. And that is why relationships always have this type of dramas, because now you bring in the financial aspect, working, somebody's cheating on you over there. Somebody's cheating on you. You know he's cheating on you. Yeah. But you are staying. That in itself is a very bad sign for you, because now you have already, because cheating itself is a form of abuse, because this person is not respecting you. We have seen families actually go down the drain to HIV/AIDS because of a cheating partner. You see, so these types of abuse people don't talk about, because how can I be faithful in the house and you are promiscuous enough to infect me? And by you infecting me, you've made our kids orphans. You see, and now when you orphan kids, you have already set these kids up for a path of abuse in itself. So we do not normally, when I say that the rise of these issues have come from within and our environment, it's mostly because of the pressure we experience outside. And as you can see right now, and this is a fact, that, like, for example, the jobs that have gone up, there are people who have earned 100,000 more this year. That those are people who have gone to the job group of 100,000. 14,000 of those are ladies. 1,000 are men. So as you can see now, the ladies are getting more empowered. And these men are so desperate to know how to handle this empowered women, because we have never met them. We have grown up seeing our moms submitting to our dads. Oh, tupateza and nani, the cabbage and you get. But now we have a lady here who can actually buy for herself. So if you do not buy for her, she buys for herself.
Yeah, I was so keen enough just to listen to, when he speaks, we listen also to men's problems, which to me are most of the time are never addressed. But this is it. In my own view, I think we really downplay a lot of things, and when it comes to marriage and relationships, yeah. And I want to give an example. When a woman, for example, if a man is high lower than a woman and they have started living together, there's high chances that they are going to understand each other. The woman will understand it, okay? But when the child is born, that is where the problem starts. When the second child is born, that is where now the problem increases. So you find that when a woman alikuwa anaelewa huyu mwanaume sana when he didn't have money. But now the children are there. A woman thinks, what will become my children? How will they go to school? How will they eat? How will the rent be paid? So these are the things that really disturbs a woman. And that is why when you investigating these marriages, you find that once a marriage breaks, you will see that there are children, maybe one child, two child. But before these children were there, they were just okay. So a woman psychologically also changes when children come in. So the problem that we have right now is the men are not really adapting to the changes. So right now we have men who are not patient. So you find that maybe, let me just give you an example. Maybe this woman has given birth. Definitely her body will change. And when the body changes, the man will look at the woman like, what did I marry? You've added a lot of weight. You don't look beautiful anymore. So in the impatience, the man will maybe start seeing another person who, and if you investigate so well, they will just look for another person who was just like you, when you didn't have children. So that is what he loved in you, and that is why he married you. Because you see, men, they're attracted to what they see at first. That is when now love comes in second, depending on how you really relate with each other. So you find that now when this is done, the man is not patient enough. Because this woman, it will reach a time, she will just change. When the children now grow up, most women, we just return back to whoever we were before. So you find that men are not patient enough. Secondly, this finance issue is what is killing marriages right now. And for me, I want to really blame also the government in it, because you see, women by nature, some women we can just assume they're lazy, but they're not lazy. That is just how women nature we were brought to be. That we are not supposed, we are nurturers. We are just supposed to be in the house, take care of the kids. But you see, with the economy right now, with everything that is happening in the country, you find that a house cannot be sustainable if one person is working. It means that the person who will be working will be overstretched. So you find that when that person is overstretched, there are now disagreements in the house that can lead to violence. Thirdly, you will find also a man and a woman working. But you see, the woman feels like, because you see, for a woman also, just balancing between work, that is career, loving your husband, loving your children, being a wife, all these things, they are sometimes draining. Yeah. So you find that sometimes you'll be more focused on your husband than your work and children. So you see, all these things, they just need counseling. If people go for counseling, I think they can be able to get the character traits of their partner, because we have different character traits. We have people who are have dependency character trait. We have melancholic people. So you find with people who have this dependency character trait, those are men you cannot leave. First of all, most of them, they don't want to work. Secondly, they are really dependent on you. You will find you as a woman, you are paying from rent to everything. They are very loving. They will take care of the children. They will always, huyo atapiga hata dasta. Hata ukitoka huko, I hear Americans calling them simps most of the time. So you will find that he will do all that for you. But now when you want that leadership, you want somebody who can preside. Because you see, as a woman, the way we were created, it reaches a time you get bored with this person. So if you find somebody who can show you that leadership, you tend to change. So you find that this man that you're keeping in the house is not good enough for you as a person, the way you feel. Thirdly, what the root cause of this also matter is our culture, the way we are brought up. Like he has told me he's brought up by a man who the mother would respect so much. But maybe me, I didn't have a father. You see, I grew up with my mom. I saw my mom as an independent person who could take care of us. You see, when I'm growing up, I'll be a tough woman, just like my mom, doing things differently. And I'll maybe get a traditional man. And this conflict, we really have to adjust to each other. Ni kuvumiliana, which most of the time people don't have. Because you see, when he's brought up in a different way, I'm also brought up in a different way, it depends with both of us to sit down and talk about these things so that we may be able to have one level ground. Thirdly, there is a lot of inequality among Kenyans. And you see, that's why I'm blaming the government. This thing, it's not an event. It should be something people are told, their campaigns. Because you see, men, the way they are brought up, they are expected to do some things. Women are also, they are expected to submit. And in this submission, women are told that, you see, a man should be providing for you everything. And how about if this man doesn't have money at that time? You see? And our parents are forgetting to tell us there are times even their own husbands could not provide and they were providing. So you see, this mentality that is given to this generation, and that is why you find that in the issue of maintenance right now, the government highlights properly that when it comes to parenting, it is 50-50. You're supposed to be sharing equal responsibilities. But still, if you look at it, you find that the woman does more. Because you see, it's not all about giving money, it's all about also involving fully in the lives of your children. So, I even see, right now, I even see people like single mothers, don't do this, these single mothers. We are forgetting that parents, some people broke up with their partners because of maybe violence. So if you're calling her single mother, that person that is being abused in the house will be afraid to get out, because then what they are hearing about single motherhood is scary. Okay, so these men are straight there saying, I see them online. You see, they're like, oh, single mothers, why did you leave your husband? Why did you do this? But they're not really looking at the root causes why this person might have left. You see, another thing, I was even having a conversation. I believe you heard about it, PP, when I was talking about it. If every single woman decides to return their children to their fathers, what will happen? Those are the things people are really not looking into. So you find that this GBV thing, one, is caused by finances. People are arguing in the houses because of finance. Two, the stereotype. I'm the man. I'm supposed to be doing this. There's a friend of mine who told me, actually, she was promoted in her job, and the husband started being very insecure. So this just a day, the husband came at around 1 a.m. in the morning. Then you see, this is something that this man has never done before. But that day, the man was like, Gloria, wake up, go and make me some 3 eggs I want to eat. At 1 a.m. And me, I want to sleep because tomorrow I'm supposed to be going to work. Then you see, when a woman tells you, no, just wait until 8, I will cook for you something before I leave. The husband will sees as disrespect. So for me, I believe that women should be talked to. Men also should be talked to, because there are also men who are physically being abused by their wives. And these are things that people don't talk about, you see. I even had a friend of mine who was being abused by the wife. And he told me the day he decided to go to the police station to report, the policemen started laughing. You see that stereotype that now Kenyans we have. So what I know, women are vulnerable and women should be protected. You see, they should not be beaten. And I'll urge women, if a man beats you, that is a man who cannot protect you. You see? So it's just good enough for you to leave the relationship before it's too late. You can break your teeth. Teeth can, even if you want to replace your teeth, you will use a lot of money to do it. You can break your bone, maybe backbone. You will never replace it. You see, so these are the things that really people should take seriously, and also women should stop provoking men. Yeah, that is happening a lot, and I can even give my view on the woman I saw being sliced by the husband. You see, and if you see the way she was abused, this is somebody who has kept a lot of rage in his. This is someone who has kept a lot of rage in his heart for somebody to hurt you like that. So if at all I did not see that video, you see, I would assume that this man just came from nowhere and started abusing this woman. But if you look at the video, this woman provoked this man, because even if there was something wrong this man did, there was a correct way of addressing the issue. And if you see this person is abusing you maybe emotionally too much, just leave.